Hi everyone, my name is Panos Kalatzis and I'm gonna talk to you about bacteriophages, the good viruses, and yes, they do exist, and their potential as antibacterial agents in aquaculture. A bit about myself, I am a postdoc researcher at the University of Copenhagen at the Middelboe Lab, where we work very much on bacteria and phage interactions. And I would like to mention that last year I was also involved in founding Aquatic Biologicals, which is the first startup company in Greece focused on development of eco-friendly, innovative solutions for aquaculture health. Back to our presentation. Aquaculture is the fastest growing food industry on a global scale, and it has been so for the past decades actually. However, diseases can hamper the productivity of the industry. It has been estimated that the diseases can account for costs of up to $6 billion per year. And unfortunately, the problem is going to get bigger, basically for three reasons. Intensification of the production, which is happening and will keep happening, leads to increased stocking densities that will favor bacterial outbreaks. Second, the diversification of the production, which happens by introduction of novel species, particularly in mariculture, brings also novel diseases that we need to take care of. And last but not least, the global warming has led to increased temperatures in aquatic environments, and we tend to find diseases that we have never seen before there. So the solution that we want to propose is bacteriophage administration, bacteriophages. These are bacterial viruses that are actually the natural predators of bacteria in the environment. They have five major advantages over antibiotics, which is the currently most common strategy when it comes to bacterial diseases. First, they are able to tackle and eliminate antibiotic resistant strains. Second, they are very specific down to the species or even strain level, leaving the rest of the microbiota unaffected and intact. Third, they can be used in combinatory schemes for multiple infections at a time. Fourth, they are an environmentally sustainable strategy because phages are a natural component of the environment. And last but not least, they are in line with the public concern against the excessive administration of antibiotics. The mechanism of activity behind bacteriophages has been shaped through evolution in nature. So there are two different cycles that the phages can follow, the lytic and the lysogenic. We strictly focus on the lytic cycle because this is the one that will lead eventually to the death of the bacterial host. So briefly, what happens is that the phage binds on the surface of the bacterium, then it injects its genome inside the bacterium, and then it basically takes over the metabolic machinery of the bacterium, leading to the replication of the viral genome and also the viral proteins. The outcome is that the bacteria is basically exploding, it's burst, and releasing the new virions in the environment. And this moment, I would like to share with you this video where you can see a time lapse of 24 hours where we deployed two spots of lytic bacteriophages on a bacterial loan of the host, Edwardsia aguilarum. And you can see how efficiently the phages can inhibit the bacterial growth in these two phage-crowded areas on the bacterial loan. On a second video, I'd like to show you this glass slide full of bacterial cells and how easily and how fast they are removed and they pop after being infected by the bacteriophages. And you can see how more sparsely inhabited now the glass slide looks after the 4-hour time lapse of this infection. When it comes to target markets, bacteriophages can always follow the host. So there's not a geographic margin, but as long as we can isolate and culture the bacterial host in the lab, we can, in theory, try to isolate the corresponding bacteriophages. Therefore, I will not mention specific geographical areas, but I will mention some industries. First, we have the live feed producers and also the hatcheries, where basically phages can be used as smart disinfectants in order to selectively remove potential pathogens that are present in such environments. We have also the fish feed producers that could also use bacteriophages as a component for their fish feed, or even as in order to create phage-coated fish pellets. And last but not least, we have the recirculated aquaculture systems, which are systems with limited renewal of water. And then bacteriophages can also be extremely useful in removing the increasing bacterial load of potential pathogens. Regarding the economic impact, I would like to show you this graph about the antibiotic resistance impact on the world GDP. And this is a projection to the year 2050. You can see that the numbers are immense, and we are expecting a total GDP loss of up to 100 trillion. So it's actually a matter of fact that alternatives such as bacteriophages could have both short-term and long-term effects for the economy. I would like to start with the short-term. So first of all, we will promote prophylaxis over treatment, and that will create healthy larvae by preventing the bacterial outbreaks. At once, this will limit the antibiotics administration to the environment and also to the fish farm, of course. And in the end of the day, it will lead to better feed intake and also decreased food conversion rates because the fish are going to be able to simply utilize better the available feed. And on the long term, we will have a better picture, a more positive opinion of the consumers about aquaculture. And also, it will allow the producers to enter high-end markets by having antibiotic-free and higher quality products. Our current status is basically classified under TRL4 and TRL5. So we have validated the technology of bacteriophage therapy in the lab and also in some relevant environments. AQUAEXCEL helped a lot in that as well. In the graphs, you will see in the upper part that we some publication from some colleagues that was out recently showed that the survival of the larvae can be enhanced by the administration of the bacteriophages, significantly enhanced. And on the lower graph, you can see another research that we published a few years ago, where we showed that bacteriophages can selectively remove presumptive vibrios that were present in Artemia live feeds. We basically work with lytic phages against Vibrio and Flowobacterium, but there are also other bacterial pathogens of interest that we are currently interested in. However, I would like to close this presentation by stating that there are overwhelming data that support the potential of bacteriophage therapy. Therefore, the European Union must develop an explicit and more dedicated regulatory framework for bacteriophages and bacteriophage products development in order to maximize that potential against bacterial outbreaks. At this point, I would like to thank you very much for your attention and for your time. I have posted the emails that you can find me, and in case you have any question or any topic that you would like to share or discuss, feel free to reach out. Thank you very much.